This is Colin O'Keefe here for LXBN TV. Every day, our vehicles that we use to get around are becoming more and more connected to the internet with more technological advancements on the way. Joining me now on LXBN TV is somebody who works at the forefront of the legal issues around such advanced technology and actually helped put together a framework for the privacy issues of connected cars. That is attorney Chris Wolf. He's with Hogan Lovells and he leads their privacy and information management practice and is author on the firm's blog, Chronicle of Data Protection. Chris, first off, for those who are unfamiliar about just how prevalent and impactful these connected cars and vehicle-to-vehicle technology can be, can you explain for us, how much this is growing nowadays and where it's headed in the future?
Sure, and we're really just at the cusp of the connected car era, and it's very exciting. The services that will be available to motorists and to their passengers. Think of some safety features that are in cars today, like emergency response systems. I think you're going to see those roll out to many more cars so that the connected car can direct, for example, first responders to a crash scene, with pinpointed accuracy. GPS is obviously, something that people are familiar with and exists in a lot of different cars. There's going to be enhanced GPS services available. There'll be infotainment available for passengers, and there'll be numerous service and maintenance features built into the cars that will be augmented through this connected capacity. And so the car will become an internet hub with lots of different features that will make driving safer, more efficient, more environmentally friendly, better for society as well as for the motorists.
Absolutely. There just are a number of different benefits that go on just beyond the ones that we see nowadays in the vehicles that we have, on the roads already. So second, as I mentioned, you and, a team of attorneys there at Hogan Lovells recently put together and worked with two leading trade associations for vehicle manufacturers to put together a bit of a privacy framework for these connected cars. Can you explain, the project that you guys just completed and really, what this privacy framework entails?
Sure. So we were engaged by the Alliance of Automobile Manufacturers, which is essentially the three large American companies plus the Europeans. And they ultimately teamed up with global automakers, which are the Korean and Japanese car makers, to establish a baseline set of privacy principles governing the personal data that is collected and retrieved from cars by the manufacturers. Now, many of these manufacturers have privacy policies all in place, but what this set of principles does is establish a floor, not a ceiling, of fundamental protections so that consumers, when they're shopping for cars and when they're making decisions about cars based in part on the privacy issues, they'll have information available to them. But way beyond that, the principles provide protections that really are a first in the Internet of Things environment. It's the first time, to my knowledge, that an industry as a whole has come together to adopt a set of baseline protections. And included among them are the commitment not to use geolocation, driver behavior, or biometric information without the affirmative consent of the consumer, of the owner. Likewise, there's a representation that kind of information won't be shared with third parties without the affirmative consent of the owner. And there's a requirement for a warrant for the government with respect to geolocation information. These are, very progressive privacy promises that are contained in these principles, and they're enforceable through the FTC and state attorneys general.
Definitely. It's great work by you guys there. I think a lot of days, you mentioned the term Internet of Things, and that's one of the things that's growing more and more prevalent today. People say, oh, your fridge is going to be connected, your oven's going to be connected to the internet, and what have you. And people always wonder, well, what's the catch? That's almost what people wonder nowadays. And it's nice to see with the work that you guys have done there at Hogan Lovells, with the trade associations, that you work to say this is great, and there's not a catch unless you give us permission to use the data how people might want to use the data. So kudos to you guys there.
We were really honored to be involved with this, and it was a long process, and it was one that we vetted with privacy advocates as well as government officials. We went to the FTC, we went up on the Hill, we socialized these principles, we got input, we made changes based on some of that input, and I think that's why they were so well received when they were released earlier this week.
Definitely. It's great to get out in front of this type of stuff. And again, kudos on the work that you guys have done. If people want to read more about it, they can be sure to visit hldataprotection.com. They can get the gist of it and also take a look at the full project as well. Once again, that was Chris Wolf of Hogan Lovells. And again, the address for more on this is hldataprotection.com. Thank you for joining me today, Chris. It's a pleasure as always.
Take care. Bye-bye.